Fairmont High School's Trent Arena. Today we're bringing you the Division I District Finals. It's the second day of the guys all here placed in the top 4 in their respective sectionals from around the district. And from here they take the next big step to the big dance in Columbus. And I'm Dave Bean, and with me is my sidekick and most essential assistant, Greg Klein. So
been doing this a while, Dave.
Yeah. We're going to be covering the championship bouts here, but we are also going to break away every now and then and take a look at matches that are being fought by kids we refer to as Waycross kids. Greg's trying to get a roster here.
Make sure we know who we're talking about.
I've lost the one we had, the bracket, and we're going to work on this as we get started here at 106 pounds.
This is going to be a great match here.
We're going to be bringing to you, Greg, who we got coming up here.
Well, Zach Shoup from Fairfield, ranked number 1 in the state, projected state champion. His opponent from Lasalle, Dustin Norris, a freshman. This is kind of unique, a senior versus a freshman. It's unique because you hardly see a senior at this weight class. Zach's going to Central Michigan next year and have to wrestle 126. But
as we're looking at the screen here, Norris is in the red and white uniform with a cross on the side. He's from LaSalle. His opponent from Fairfield's wearing the traditional Fairfield white and red singlet. Fairfield is indicated as red.
You see the LaSalle on the side of the one singlet. Shoup Norris in.
I'm trying to catch up with all the different kids in the different weight classes in the different divisions. Since we're here at Kettering, we're having to try and lean on the internet to find out what's going on in other
we have a Mason wrestler for third and fourth.
The region.
There's Shoup in on the leg. Watch that knee. Norris is over the top. Shoup's coming back the other way if he can slide that hip up. Whoa. It's already given him the 2 points. No takedown. They waved it off. Waved off the takedown.
Okay, I'll try another one.
So, no points. Dave's going to have a little headphone here change. So Shoup with the heavy hands on the head on Norris. And then we get out of that first period, 0-0. Well, as crazy as it is, these guys are all going to the state tournament, but all these matches are important. We got to get the scoreboard up to 2 minutes. Okay, Shoup won the toss, and he takes down. Although Norris is a freshman, this is not his first year wrestling, quite obviously. Wrestling for LaSalle. LaSalle's got a pretty powerful program here, especially all their underclassmen.
He won the junior high state tournament.
Correct, So, although it's junior high versus Shoup was a state placer last year, it's still, Shoup's out. He's got to force that head down, try and get no points.
Had some pretty good success amongst the different 3-pounders around the state or around the area. Chase Huff out at Goshen, 106-pounder, a sophomore. He just won the 103-pound class at Goshen or for Goshen, and that's a place where St. Paris Graham is involved. So congratulations to Chase Huff.
It's Norris up pretty high, but he's still got control. Shup's having trouble getting out of that, and they go out of bounds. First minute. He hasn't really got much, got to get better hand control because Norris has been able to control the head with that spiral type ride. Not really a spiral, but.
We also want to thank the sponsors that have underwritten these programs, plus the state tournament coming up next week. This one actually is sponsored by a new sponsor this year, the Jeff Burkhoff Old Coaches Association.
That was a stalling call, which was greeted by the Fairfield contingent with a nice look. Shup needs to switch that off to the double. Got 20 seconds.
There's no point
left.
Put on the board.
Nothing yet. There is no takedown. No points yet. And he's got to turn that hip if he can reach back there. He's not going to get it. He's got 3 seconds, and there's no going to be any points given here. Well, Norris has just been hanging on for dear life here, but he got out of it with only a stall call. Okay, the Fairfield coach are trying to find out, have a question of why it's not escape.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, I was looking here in some of the background on this. I know you already mentioned this, but Zach Schupp was second in the state 2 years ago. Last year, he was sixth. And
well, we've got, here's what happened. Norris took down, and Schupp immediately just said, no, we'll give him the point. So it's 1-0, Dustin Norris over Zach Schupp. 1-0, there we go. So now Schupp's got to take the attack to him. He's already got an advantage that he does have a stalling call, so if he can continue the pressure, Norris doesn't have any room to back up or.
Oh man!
Caution for stepping over the line.
Yeah, caution because he leaned forward and put up level with the start line.
Minute and 30 seconds. But Shupp's got to drive the action a little more than this if he's going to get anything out of it. Can't just be underhooked.
It's interesting. This season, Norris actually
just got taken down.
Well, he did. He just got taken down. The LaSalle wrestled in.
Now he's going to cut him loose again.
LaSalle wrestled in the state duels, and Norris majored the former.
So he lets him loose again. So now we have a 2-2 score. So, Zach got a little, got away with it. He got a little,
on that one.
We're going to show this over, but no, here we go. Schupp with his head down, and luckily, he's close to the end.
No.
All right, we're back live. 50 seconds to go. What's critical here is the stall call. If Schupp from Fairfield can get another stalling call, could win the match, but he's.
All the replays are brought to you by the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association, who are the primary sponsors of this program.
They're both basically trying the same style on their takedowns, both trying to force the head down and just spin behind it. Oh, looked like an inside trip for Norris. It's in there pretty tight. 3 seconds. 3 seconds left. Okay, we're at overtime. And in this first period, sudden death, takedown wins it.
Well, this is kind of what we were expecting out of this match. These two
Can he get him? I don't know if they're out of bounds almost. I don't think he's going to be able to spin behind and get this from here.
There's no room.
All right, 36 seconds left. Shep's been a little aggressive and made a couple little potential mistakes. Oh, he just got it. There you go. Norris tried to take the shot. Didn't get in there.
Sometimes the simplest is absolutely the best.
Yep. Freshman versus senior. So we're going to show this again. You'll see Norris kind of come in, right, as he counter shoots and he gets down on that knee. He dropped that hip on the right side and lost his base. So now we're going to go to 113 and again another all-Cincinnati final. We'll be seeing Lasalle in a number of these matches, Dave, especially here at the lower weights. Yeah. They've got like 7 in the finals or something like that.
Well,
Baird.
I want to interject one of the things here. One of our weight cross kids also was here at 103 pounds. That was Quentin Harris from Northwest. Quentin qualified here. He was one of several from the Knights. And so now we're to 113.
Yeah.
And we have from LaSalle, Lucas Baird, and from Fairfield, Mustafa Ball, who's a junior.
So the teams didn't, some of the coaches switched, but basically it's the same final we saw, only different side type singlets this time. They're both in the white.
We have another one of our Waycross kids, Oscar Flowers from Northwest, qualified here, and Darius Lovett of Winton Woods is currently wrestling for 5th place.
Okay, our score, it's 2-1 Baird over Ball right now. And now it's 4-1. Lucas Baird's ranked top 5, top 9 in the country. He's been 4 or 5 most of the year at this weight. Lost one, moved to 9th. Plan on going to, committed to Maryland to wrestle for them next year. Well, 2 years from now. Be a senior next year. 2-time placer. His older brother Max was a state finalist. Wrestled for Ashland.
It's funny, or it's not funny. It's one of the features of the sport is that it tends to be a family sport. On the right there, we have Darius Lovett's 5th place match. He's wrestling Sutterly.
Nice tilt here. Tilt here on the left. Baird's so good that he's willing to take, actually just did a front roll into that. A lot of wrestlers wouldn't take that chance to expose their back like that. So 7-1, Baird over Ball. He's tilted him again. I think he'd get a 2 on that. Maybe he didn't get the count. So no points. 7-1.
Love it.
Baird over.
Holds a 2-0 advantage in the 5th place match over here. This is something we're going to try and do throughout the tournament.
2-0.
To bring our Waycross kids to you. If you're wondering what Waycross kids are, these are kids that come from within our service area of Northwest Cincinnati. It includes Coleraine High School, Northwest High School, Winton Woods, and so
another tilt.
When these guys come up, we're going to try and get them out there. We covered a lot of their matches during the course of the year.
And Baird just works so hard for the pin all the time. But Ball is a strong wrestler. 2 great programs here. 10-1 here. Baird over Ball. We're into the second period, 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
It's 2-2. Now, fifth place match on the right.
He's trying to cradle him up now. Let's see how. Trying to yank him, but ball's a little too strong for that.
It's hard to, sometimes it's hard for guys to come out and wrestle their hardest for fifth place because that's an alternate position. That doesn't take you to the state tournament. You got to be in the top 4 to qualify to the state. But the fifth place guy is going to be in waiting. Baird keeps hammering points.
There we go. I think he's got 2 points is all.
We've got a 10-1 match with Baird and a 3-2 match with Lovett.
All right. He loses that. Wasn't able to score on that. 4 seconds left here in the second period. Okay, that's the period.
Baird got here with a pin in his first match, his second match, and a 9-3 victory in the semifinals over a really tough kid from Western Brown.
Both up. Ball does not want to take down after that last period, that's for sure. Lucas, as I said, ranked nationally, wrestled around nationally, Fargo, every year. His dad, Jeff, one of the youth coaches over at the Lasalle program. His brother, Max, in the chair with him. Coach Ryan Roots, the head coach this year. Now it's 12-1. Tell him to cut him loose. So both up. Hasn't been able to turn him lately, so he's going to go for the tech fall by getting takedowns. And you know, David, quite honestly, how often do we see you can take somebody to their back easier from your feet than your.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it more and more where guys are really catching on to that. And it used to be you got the takedown and then you look for a pinning combination. More and more you see guys looking for the pinning combination directly from the takedown.
It's that Greco-Roman influence. A lot more Greco-Roman wrestling in the summer where it's all upper body and throws and stuff. All right, 14-3. 53 seconds.
Darius Lovett continues in his struggle down there. He's in a 3-3 tie for the alternate position to the state.
Yeah, 35 session. You know, it doesn't sound, well, you're not going to the state because it's fifth, but the fact is people get hurt in practice.
Well,
they get skinned, they get sick, and you never know when you're going to be
That's right.
called up. You got to make weight.
Yep, that's
so
right.
You may be fifth.
I've had it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't just
called the day before the state tournament once. Can your 60-pounder, 65-pounder make weight? Yeah. Think he wants to wrestle? Well, sure. It looks like
I don't think Baird's going to turn him. 16-3 is going to be the final.
That's the score. Nope, they ran out of time.
Pretty strong match for Lucas Baird, but Mustafa's ball is, you're wrestling against a kid that's fifth in the nation. You still got a shot at state to do pretty well. All right, now we're get another Lasalle match.
We're going to keep Lovett's match going here as
Allen,
as it continues. He's had a long day. This kid has been wrestling since the break of dawn almost, and he's been in one tight match after another.
Who are we talking about?
I'm talking about Darius Lovett from Winton Woods down there, who's in OT.
We got 28 seconds left, and he can.
That's actually 28 in overtime.
Yeah,
that's first.
If he can get this takedown.
If he can get it, he's got it. He wins it.
He's got it. Certainly, he's got it there. If he throws the half in, he's got it. Just
steps over. There it is.
There we gave it to him.
There it is. Good, because he lost
Paul Branco.
He lost a 2-pointer in the semis. He lost in overtime. in the consolation semifinal
So
or
you're
quarterfinal.
5-3 winner, and now he's got to sit and wait and sadly hope that somebody
Cross his fingers somebody gets sick or hurt.
Right.
Get yourself a voodoo doll and start sticking it with pins. Right.
All right. Well, now our 120-pound match. Some wrestlers we've seen before. Cameron Baird from Harrison, a junior, against Antoine Allen, a sophomore from Lasalle. LaSalle's just been kind of warming those seats up at the coaches. They haven't had a move.
Yeah, they performed extremely well at the in the state duels, although they didn't win it. They certainly made their presence felt, even without two wrestlers. They forfeited 2 weights.
If they keep this up, they could become potential. Well, they'll be top 3 favorites for state title next year in an individual tournament, because they've got everybody but all but one guy coming back.
Yeah.
Cameron Allen Baird, in the red.
Cameron Baird was a state qualifier
last year.
Mm-hmm. He's the son of assistant coach Chris Baird's.
Wasn't he a 12-pound last year?
Well, I don't have that.
I think he was.
Record.
Okay. They kind of, neither one of them doing much here. The other thing that's different, Dave, is for all these wrestlers, this is a combination of the Dayton, Cincinnati area. So the officials are also, almost nice little ankle trip from Dayton, Cincinnati. And they do call it a little different. Not purposely, it just kind of, styles are a little different, what you're used to seeing. So, and then when you get up to state, it's another kind of change. You get the Cleveland and the Toledo wrestlers and the officials, and everybody brings their own style, if you will.
And Baird gets warned for stalling as he withdrew out of the circle. That's one of the things that the officials have been really working hard on the last several years, is to keep the matches going by keeping them on the mat.
Again? He was going to call him again.
Well, I think he was thinking about calling a poke in the face, because I saw Cameron reach up and shield his eyes like he'd been hit in the face.
He just didn't sell it enough then, huh, Dave?
I guess he didn't, act like me, walk around like you can't see.
Scream, help me. All
Can
right,
I have a cane?
Allen takes down. Baird on the ankle.
Cameron in the semifinals spent probably as long a time as I've ever seen with bloody noses, and I see he's packed again.
Well, ahead of time this time.
Yeah.
Pre-match.
Boy, during the semi, they ended up having to tape the plug in. There's working the edge of the mat. Both of these guys are working the mat edge.
1-0, Allen over Baird. Change the score. Allen leads 1-0 here. There we go. Oh, on the whistle. Allen went right out.
Boy,
again.
He went right out for that pick, didn't he?
Yep. Came into this with 38 wins. Not bad for a sophomore.
I'm sitting right behind a cameraman that has me completely blocked right now. So I'm watching what you're watching, folks. Of course, one of our trustworthies, one of our volunteers is sitting over here. He's probably blocking half the.
Oh, wow! Baird almost
the field house.
As Allen came up, you'll see Allen come up, gets a little off forward on his feet here, and Baird almost was able to throw him by to his back. Here we go back to live action. 29 seconds left here in the second period. 1-0 Antoine Allen over Cameron Baird. Baird will be down the third period, so this is all going to come down.
Yeah, at 120 pounds, Dr. Kevin Riley of TriHealth is a sponsor. He's been one of our longtime sponsors over the years, and we appreciate greatly his civic responsibility or civic dependability.
All right, third period now.
Of course, the fact is Kevin wrestled at St. X, and so he...
yeah, he didn't wrestle at this lightweight, though. He should be doing like heavy or
yeah, he was
220.
Well, yeah, 220 at one point. Yeah.
All right, here we go, 1-1. Now we got another minute and a half. We've been seeing, quite honestly, it's going to be over 5.5 minutes of wrestling on their feet unless we get a takedown here. Allen in on the ankle. Can he finish it? He's bringing bringing Baird back to the middle, so he's got taking his time. Front trip.
There's the
There's the takedown. 3-1.
Baird came
out
up.
Of bounds. Minute and 23.
Baird came up and went immediately to the hands, but didn't get the back pressure necessary to get his hips away.
Yeah, let's see if he can ride him, because Baird needs a escape and a takedown. So, see how strong Allen stays. Oh, nice little Granby. 3-2.
No wrist on it, but he cleared the hips and got his one out of it.
Well, we've got a minute and 15 seconds for Baird to get his takedown. And quite honestly, I don't think he wants to get it real early because I think he'll give up the escape.
We see a lot more of that waiting
back
for the last shot in the period.
Maybe 25 seconds you go for it, you know.
Yeah.
Because 4-3 puts him up. And we've got that stalling call, but I don't think that will come into play any longer.
Yeah, that was a withdrawal call, backing out.
All right. Well, now Allen's in a really good position right here. He can just stay here, being up by 1. Keeps Baird's head down. Baird smartly comes to his feet, breaks out of that.
Baird's got to get his hips under in those positions.
25 seconds. Here we're going to. Nice little Granby here. See him kick with that inside foot. Definitely. 19 seconds. Oh. Nice nice counter.
Nice counter.
Yeah.
Nice takedown.
Shot, reshot, and the reshot took Baird by surprise, and
Allen gets
5-2.
It's 5-2.
And that's time. Tough match. Here we go. You're going to see Baird takes the shot and then comes up. And when he comes up, Allen was coming in.
Got his feet underneath him. His feet were right under his butt. That'll get you in a lot of trouble.
All right.
Okay, I want to take a second here to mention our dedicated volunteers that are at work today. Lamar Rulhawk is on a camera. Emma Wilms is on a camera. Emma, wherever you are, wiggle your camera. Dave Jacobson sitting here in front of me, keeping me from seeing what's going on the other mat. Dave, you can wave your camera too. Tom Brockman's on a floor cam across from us. Hugh Staples is on graphics. And we've got Tony Suarez is our director-producer. And we're going to bring a coach in here pretty soon to sit down and give us a little bit of a view of from a coach's perspective.
Well, until then, we're watching Casey Wiles from LaSalle versus Jabari Thomas Fairfield. Wiles, a freshman, another one of LaSalle's contingent, second freshman we've seen. Thomas just took him down. Wiles tried a little duck, and Thomas got behind. Jabari's a pretty tough wrestler. He's a junior, and especially at the higher weights, it tends to pay off. Ooh, Wiles is Tried again. Tried to muscle. The freshman muscling the junior.
And Casey Wiles came out of the Hamilton sectional as runner-up, and Thomas is Fairfield winner, so they've met before.
They met in the same finals a week ago.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Last year, Jabari Thomas placed 8th in the state.
Right, as a sophomore.
And Wiles was 6th at the middle school state last year.
And that was a classic double.
That's part of an instructional video.
All right, well, we're back to 3-3 with 39 seconds left. We got a lot more action. And Wiles in again.
He pulls that ankle in really effectively.
Thomas is over the top. Or that scramble situation. This situation, the high hips usually win. So the man with the high hips is the one that's going to score on this.
Or they're going to get it.
He's got the hips up. Yep.
Referee says no.
5 seconds.
I think that Wiles has Thomas's leg locked underneath him, and he couldn't change the weight control.
Coach Jason Laughlin wants to know why that's not 2 points. What's the criteria?
Here comes the coach. Going to talk. He's
just going to tell him his opinion.
I think that was a bad call.
I think what he said was ask the other. He wanted him to ask the back official. The back official did not disagree with the head official.
Jason Laughlin, the head coach at Fairfield, is a wrestler at Fairfield and
3-time state placer.
He carries on the Fairfield tradition with a great deal of character. He's a wonderful guy. His coach was sitting around here, but I don't see him right now.
That's because he's sitting behind you.
Sonic, is he behind us
5
now?
rows behind you.
I better watch out. He's liable to throw something at me.
I tell you, this Wiles, I haven't seen him much, but this is, for a freshman, he's definitely going for the more physical of the attack. And although Thomas is a pretty physical kid, gets in a nice shot.
How do you figure this kid's a freshman? Look at the development on this lad. I mean, he's using a lot of power.
Out of bounds. Well, Wiles got out of that. A lot of guys wouldn't have. 1:30. He's in again.
That's Thomas in for the takedown.
Goes ahead 5-4.
You got minute 18 here in the second period. This kind of a story of experience a little bit here.
I think you're right, Dave. And a little more knowing what it takes. Been here before, realizing he's got to step it up a little bit. Oh, escape. 1 minute to go. 5-5. I think Thomas is getting a lot more confident on his feet.
That's right. There, he got the head, reached for the pick. He didn't get it. Oh, that could have been a very serious error.
Wiles trying that throw again. I think Coach Laughlin's saying, get off the side, stay in the middle here. You're letting Lasalle wrestler get to the side, get to the out of bounds marker, and you take your shot and you go out of bounds. So try and wrestle more in the middle. Again, Wiles with his back to the line.
Thomas,
no points.
Thomas does a nice job at Wiles is
they're both wrestling. This is a good match.
They're both excellent wrestlers, both of them.
Well matched. Seen each other before, and they're not just sitting around doing nothing. They're working. And I think they're going to slow it down here these last 15 seconds. It's like, okay, don't do anything stupid here with 8 seconds to go in the second period. We got a whole another period to go. They've been continually doing. Okay, Thomas is down. Here we get ready to start the third period. Thomas got to get away quick. And then we'll be back to some more exciting action on their feet. All right, So that took all of 3 seconds. 6'5" Thomas over Wiles. I think, quite honestly, Thomas has been the aggressor more often than Wiles. Wiles has got some great counters. You know, when you're in the room with the other wrestlers LaSalle's got in there, especially at these lower weights, you're facing this every day.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
Okay, Thomas in there, good. All right, 8-5, minute and 30 to go. Now, this is where Thomas can use his, hopefully, superior strength and just keep Wiles down to the mat.
This match is brought to you by Kent Smith of State Farm Insurance. Kent has been
got the credit. Oh, got away.
A referee over the years.
8-6. Well, now Wiles has got to take it to Thomas a little more this time. He's been doing most of the counter wrestling and the lockup, so now he's got to change a little bit. So I guarantee you Thomas is going to take a shot in about 2 seconds here.
Yep.
No, just the opposite. Guess I guarantee he's no good, but.
Well, he gets in that front headlock.
There's a shot.
He doesn't get that spin by. Boy, Wiles is tough. He knows what to expect.
Got the whizzer in, out of bounds, 40 seconds.
Some of the noise you hear coming at you on the set doesn't necessarily coincide with the action on the mat. That's because we've got 3rd and 5th place matches going on beside us, and a lot of fans sitting right behind us too.
Ooh, Thomas wants to get out of this spot.
Although it's mainly Fairfield people behind us right now. It's also important, you may be looking to get this program before it's available.
Oh, Wiles in on the leg, but can he finish with 15 seconds? Thomas fighting it off.
Thomas has got to get up in that lock through the crotch.
5, that's going to stay right there.
Stalemate, put him back
3
on their
seconds,
feet.
well.
3 seconds.
Thomas should run away. Just run away. No
There's
points.
The takedown.
8-6.
Good match. Good match.
There we go.
I suspect we're going to see those guys
Good
more
chance.
often. Here we go. We're getting somebody come in here, Greg. I want you to not scare this guy away. We're bringing Coach
Jason
Dean in, and he's going to give us I'll wait till he gets the headset on. I don't know if you can hear me or not. That headset was giving us trouble, so maybe you move one ear so you can hear me. Pop it back off your head. Can you hear me now? Okay, let's do this.
All right, so I can kind of get in there.
Yeah. Well, what we'd like to hear you tell us a little bit is what you see from a coach's perspective here in this next match coming up, which will be 132 pounds. If you had a kid that was wrestling in this match or going to wrestle one of these guys, what would you be looking at? And the reason I'm asking you, Jason, is that I remember 5 years ago sitting and talking to you about what you hope to accomplish at Winton Woods, and I'm impressed with where you're taking them right now. And I just wanted to compliment you because you got 3 kids in final matches out here today, and I know you're going to get more kids going to the state tournament. So we want to hear from you.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the time and the kind words you said. There's a lot of good wrestling going on here right now. So.
The other reason we've got you here is that you're better looking than the other 2 guys sitting at this table. Also a lot younger than my partner, Greg.
Definitely.
Who's a grandfather. So we don't have it. What happened out here?
Well, they're waiting
We're
for
waiting
the,
for the match.
the 3rd and 4th place match, which
I'm
Mason and Elder.
I'm hearing other voices.
You may hear directors' voices.
Yeah, the directors is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's correct.
Let's see if I can help any at all.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know whether I can.
I can hear you better now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Want
So
to turn them back off?
Sometimes that
you're
might
not
be a
supposed
good
to.
thing.
Oh.
Tony can hear you, Greg.
Oh.
So, tell us what has been the approach you've taken to bringing Winton Woods to this point in wrestling?
Just to have fun, getting kids to enjoy the sport, because most of them haven't done it since when they come up to see me. So or maybe have a year or two under their belt, if anything, junior high. I'm fortunate if they've wrestled in junior high, just to have some mat time before they come and see me. But, most of the time, it's all new to them. So to get them to come out and enjoy a sport like this, that's so demanding, that's one of the hardest things to do.
Jason, you wrestled in high school, so you brought some good work ethic and kind of what it takes to be successful. You've been able to impart that to these kids. In fact, we're watching
that was a great overtime match.
Yeah, overtime. That's what the crowd was cheering for. So
it was Dylan Waugh got the victory.
You want to continue your question?
Just how did you impart what you learned? What did you take from your wrestling experience that you've been able to bring forward to the kids?
It just teaches you so much on and off the mat. I was fortunate enough to have one of the best coaches around in Vance Reed. Big inspiration in my life and a great role model, someone to mentor me. So he showed me the right way, I think, to go about things and how to do it, from the bottom up. That's what I wanted to try to do. I saw him build a program over there at Harrison. And saw what he helped start over there at Mason.
Let us get this match started here. Yeah. And I'd like you to kind of look and see what you see as a coach, what you think needs to have happen. This is 132 pounds, and we have Jacoby Ward from Moeller. I got his first name right that time, Greg.
Jordan.
Say Jordan. Yeah, well, they've been.
Yeah,
there's only been about 12 years worth of awards wrestling.
From Butler.
They're all good. They're all hammers.
This is the first Dayton area wrestler that we've had on the mat here in the finals.
This kid's solid.
Trevor's pretty good.
I believe he wrestled the Ironman this year.
Yep. He's this would be a good match. Ward's won a lot of his matches. He's not a pinner. He's a
he tilts and
he's
a tilt machine.
He doesn't but he gets that ankle or that wrist, and he gets in tight on the hips and he tilts you from everywhere.
He loves running that half
and his older brother being a NCAA All-American at North Carolina and a former state champion here at Moeller himself. He comes from pretty good workout. Like talk about imparting some information. I guess the older brothers can do the same thing as coaches can do, can't they sometimes?
Exactly.
What do you see here, Jason?
I see two competitive kids right now. They both battle. No one's going to give anything up easy. That's the thing. They're so well versed at scrambling. Right. The Butler kids are all
react. Also, they're both wearing the wrestling shorts too. That's kind of new this year instead of just a singlet.
I still haven't been able to buy into that yet.
Yeah,
still old-fashioned.
Right.
But you're old-fashioned. That's a heck of a note. He's old-fashioned. Yeah, okay.
Part of that's the UFC and the MMA stuff, I think, kind of influenced.
Yeah.
And, that's what the kids see on TV now, more so than high school wrestling, so it kind of...
I believe that's what they do, use up their Flow Nationals. Bigger tournaments like that in the finals, they let them all these. Kids love it.
And, they practice like this every day anyway. This is not like something new to them or they're unusual. They're used to practicing shorts and T-shirts in practice, so not a big deal. But it's just something different. So, second period, no points. Here's where, like you said, here's where Jacoby gets, and
he started on
he
bottom.
Was on the bottom, so Pietro wanted to keep him there. Just like you, another young coach from Moeller this year, Jermaine Lindsay, kind of taking over the program from a long time.
Jeff Geyer.
Yeah, Jeff Geyer.
Well, it's two. Jeff's two back.
Oh yeah, right.
There was the interim coach, Coach
James.
Y. I can't.
Yoshishanis.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's coaching actually down at Life College
in North Carolina.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I did.
It's in Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, because he's doing some chiropractic work.
Yeah, I knew he was going down there for chiropractic.
One of the best schools down for that. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in their college. I've been in contact with him a couple times since he's been down there.
What, for back adjustments? I mean, since you get to practice every day?
Yeah, I wish.
1-0 here.
Yeah, and in case, I don't know, we didn't set this up really clearly. Pietro is in the, well, he has purple somewhere on that uniform and red anklet. And Ward has the Moeller modern version here.
Yeah.
Pietro, yeah, you were talking about it. He's tough. Shoot, he's placed 7th, 3rd, and 4th in the state.
Right.
3-time state placer, and Ward's only got one 7th place.
Pietro's really good on his feet.
Right.
And Ward's, this is almost a win for Ward at this point. Just getting out of this, giving up 1 point. Or getting 1 point and not giving back to the takedown. I mean, he's got 4 minutes worth of rest on his feet, and he's been able to block anything the Butler wrestler can do. So,
want to thank.
Now we'll see what happens. This will be interesting. And Butler, Pietro's going to he's got to get out. He knows he's got to get out quick. Does not want to be sitting on the mat with his head down. Right.
What's your first call, Coach, for this guy? Sit and turn, stand, what?
Oh, I stand and get out.
Okay,
yeah, stand and get out of there.
Just curious.
Longer you stay down, the more bad things can happen.
There's Ward trying to bring him back.
If he can clear his wrist.
Boy, Pietro's got great balance. He gets a lot of weight on that inside leg. Uh-oh. He's out.
He's got the escape.
Wow.
So now we're back to being on their feet again, which some of these matches, that's all we've seen.
Come down to take.
We've seen about 4 and 5 minutes on their feet. Difference here is, I think, both these guys, as experienced as they are, they're not going to be doing anything foolish. You know, they can wait. They're willing to wait till 20 seconds to go. And
so, how have your kids responded to your continued growth in competitiveness and challenges?
Well, I think they're seeing success some of our guys are having, and now they're seeing what it takes to get to that next level. And that's the key. Once you have someone that, you know, they've seen it, they've done it, and they can look at what they've done to get to that point, it makes it easier for other kids to buy in and say, hey, okay, if I do this, I can be just successful as him also. So that is a key component.
a little break for contact repair there. Petra's eye hit Ward's forehead, jarred the contact loose, but he's back at it again.
The underwriter for this match is Dave Foster of Foster and Motley. Dave was a 5-pounder, I think, years ago, and continues to have great interest in it. And Greg, I don't know whether you ever met Dave. He worked with us one time, but I think he worked when you were not there once. Anyway, he's retired this year from his experience, so you better watch out, because I'm going to start dragging Dave in.
There you go.
You better watch out.
Well, you might note that our other third member of the chair, Tim Cunningham's unavailable this week, but he'll be back next week at the state.
Yeah, he's telling us that he's got what do we got, OT?
Overtime match.
There we go.
And here's the thing, this overtime, we haven't seen a takedown all day.
They're both hand fighting really well.
Yeah, so
you can break through their
this
hands.
is a sudden death part of it.
Let's scramble. Again,
yeah.
Good wrestlers know how to scramble.
I think Ward thought Pietro'd be where he wasn't, because he responded so quickly. Well, these are two good wrestlers here, two experienced.
We've had good finals all the way through so far.
Mm-hmm. And good officiating, too.
Yeah, I think.
Coach Paul. Oh, Pietro's in.
Oh, that's close.
He got it. Oh, he's got it.
That's two.
Now
there it is.
That was just a matter of time.
Yep.
Really, Ford held it off, but he was in bad shape.
Well, you've got two kids coming up yet.
170 in our heavyweight.
What are you looking for in your two upcoming matches?
Besides wins.
Wins, yes. Definitely, I would like to see that. But
how are the guys responding to it? How are the two kids? Are they ready?
They're ready. I hope they are.
Okay.
I mean, Cornell's been through this before. He's hoping he was in the same situation last year, ended up second. He learned from it, and now he's ready to hopefully bring home a district title, and then a state one eventually. Paul, our heavyweight, McKnight, this is his first year actually in the varsity lineup. You know, spending 3 years behind.
Really good wrestler.
So it's great for him to just get there. You know, it's a big accomplishment for him now. And everything after this is kind of gravy for him. I said just let it all go at this point. You know, he's wrestling a really tough kid from Wayne that he has in this 34th match. So he's got to let it all go. That's the same with Cornell. You know, just fire everything you got.
Right.
Well, on behalf of the volunteers at Waycross, we want to wish you and your lads the best of success, not only today but in Columbus next week, and we'll be looking for you up there.
I'd like to talk to you after the finals, so we, after you're got one.
Yeah, we love we love the interviews after the finals.
Maybe see if I'm available. Check my agent. All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Jason.
Appreciate everything you guys do for the wrestling around here.
Take care, buddy.
All right,
Speaking of some good wrestlers, here's two good ones.
Yeah, man, we got a load of good ones, don't we?
Javon Fuqua from Princeton, and his opponent. Now we got another Lasalle kid up there, as you can be surprised. Elon Hurd took second at Hamilton, and Fuqua took first. So this is a rematch of the Hamilton sectionals. Both two good wrestlers, both ranked in the state top 10. Hurd, I think, was ranked third, and Fuqua was seventh or something like that, depending on which poll you were looking at. Hurd in on the ankle. Fuqua we've watched several years before. Princeton's coach Ty Rollins not here tonight at a wedding.
I was looking for him.
No, he's got, I think, his son or his daughter or somebody's getting married tonight. So he had to pass today. I don't know if he's giving away a daughter or gaining a son or something like that. One or the other. But anyway, luckily he's got a kid that's wrestled enough and experienced enough. They've got experienced assistant coaches helping them, former head coaches themselves in the chair for them.
Well, you know, when you get them here, kids like Fuqua who have that experience, they're you know, once the coach gets them unloaded off the bus, it's on them anyway. And so you don't have to worry too much about.
Now wait, that's not what you told me when
no,
Keller
well, that's
won
true.
the state title. It was all about you.
In the old days, it wasn't that way. This is just a new model. Yeah. Just so some of you don't get an uncomfortable feeling about these matches being put on tape and then released. The only place that these bouts will be shown between now and next weekend, will be on cable within the Waycross area. It won't be available outside that area. Then next Saturday, they'll go up on the internet, and you may be watching them at that time. We do that because, as I said before, SWOCA, the Southwest Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association, is the primary underwriter, and the coaches don't want this to be used as a scouting tool by opponents that they may meet at the state tournament. So it'll be delayed, and you'll be seeing the state tournament very closely after seeing these matches. And you'll know how these guys fared in Columbus.
Well, Hurd's in that Russian. This is the older of the two Hurd. Oh, I think we got another hit in the head. Tried that little
Was it a bonk?
Well, he was trying a little duck under kind of motion, and when he popped his head, Fuqua dropped down, and they just kind of collided a little bit right over the eye.
If when you get a close-up of Hurd, you think that something's gone wrong with the pixels on your television, that's just the LaSalle uniform. And there's a creative way that Coach Root has for taking away.
Okay, you'll see it right here.
Sweat on the.
See, they're kind of head to head, and as he drops right there, and he just kind of popped his head right into the forehead. So. Okay, time's up. 25 seconds left in the second period. I think we're looking at a couple placers here for the state this year. They're both excellent wrestlers.
The referee's having to spend time talking with the trainer, and the head referee said, let's get this thing on the road.
Okay, I'm talking about injury time.
Paul Bronco.
Paul's the backup on this.
Yeah.
So if you go say, I don't want to tie up, I don't need that again. 15 seconds. He knows that third period he's down. He'll get his chance to escape then. Well, Hurd's pretty strong. He just kind of stayed where he was.
He's got really a big, strong core body.
That's the end of the second period.
Fuqua is a long, rangy kid with a lot of leverage.
Little body style there, but both excellent wrestlers. Both really good on their feet. We haven't seen hardly any mat wrestling this whole.
Well, you know, wait till next week. What do we always complain about when we get to Columbus and we're covering matches up there? Greg, seems like we cover two things that we're really worried about. One, we don't wrestle well on the mat, and two, we give up too many points at the end of period.
Yeah, 15 seconds.
And it's those 15 to 20 second losses that have been just hammering us for years. And
Hurd's got a bad shoulder.
Not being able to control things.
Coach Root came right out when Hurd. So
we have LaRosa's in Cold Spring, Kentucky. Now you say, why is a LaRosa's in Cold Spring, Kentucky underwriting this?
Dave, you
program?
Go anywhere to get a sponsor, don't you?
I will. And I went to another old wrestler, Mark Floan. And I want to give a shout out to Mark. This is where you would have enjoyed it a whole lot, buddy. But thank you for your support.
Look what's up. And he's got his one. And he's coming back. And Hurd.
Oh.
Fuqua got a little.
Nice throw by.
Right. Got a. Well, they didn't stop the clock. Or didn't stop. They stopped wrestling, but the official didn't blow the whistle.
Yeah. They knew they were
so
out
watch
of bounds.
This.
The referee didn't.
See, Fuqua gets a little aggressive there, and see how he got so spread out. He kind of dove for Hurd's legs, and Hurd took advantage.
And he got an arm up in the air too, which is not a good idea.
Hurd down on the ankle, picks up that leg. Gonna run the pipe here.
Now there's
front trip.
He's got to use that to break him down. Otherwise, after a 5 count, that's considered stalling.
Well, this is stalling right here.
Yeah, it's a sophisticated version of stalling. They instituted the idea of holding the leg up in the air as a stalling. I can't think what year it was that we were in the Cleveland for the state tournament. The only time we were up there back in the 70s somewhere. Anyway, the guy who's no longer with us, Kurt Rockel, was a referee in a match in the state tournament, went into overtime, and the ride out was there, and the kid rode by hanging onto a leg, and Kurt Rockel made the call, and I thought the arena was going to collapse because the Cleveland fans didn't like that call. But the next year, that was in the rule book. And we kind of thought of it as a Rocco rule.
All right. All right, here we go. 2 seconds and Hurd wins. All right, Elon Hurd from LaSalle. LaSalle's going to be well represented next week at state. So now our 145-pound matches. Dave, let's see what we got at 145. There we go. So Chris Donathan, older brother we saw several years ago for Mason. Chris is 48-1. Was at state last year.
Austin Mullins is from Wayne, and he's a freshman.
At this weight, that's pretty.
There's another. There's more. We got a lot of freshmen out here.
Yeah.
And again, it's hard. I don't know what they're doing with these freshmen these days, but they don't look like the freshmen I had. My freshmen had arms looked like spaghetti. And these guys got arms, shoulders. I mean, they look like
especially
been around
especially
for quite a while.
Way.
They look like you.
Yeah, but Donathan's in. Donathan's only got 1 loss this year.
Picked up 2 on the back. He did award that back point, didn't he, Greg?
2 points is all.
You got
just
the takedown?
Yeah, now the escape.
Okay, 2-1. Okay. Austin Mullins was runner-up in the junior high or middle school state tournament from Wayne.
I bet he's not backing up from him. He's in on that leg. Donathan tries to roll through.
Nice one, boy.
Yeah.
Mullins comes at you, doesn't he?
Yeah, for a freshman.
He doesn't. He doesn't back down at all.
Yeah.
Donovan's in a war out here. Here you can see here. Mullins gets in. Donovan hits a roll through, but Mullins counters Donovan's shot. That's a really good thing. That's a really good.
And now he's got a little blood.
To come right back on the attack after you've been attacked.
Best opportunity.
This weight
Start
class
the second period.
This weight class is underwritten by Southwestern Ohio Wrestling Coaches Association.
All right, Mullins hits choice. He takes down.
See the trainer.
Let's put a little
blood off and
a little Vaseline on his, and then he rubbed his lip, and so wiping out.
Actually, that trainer had a first experience today before the early session started today. My wife tripped coming up over a.
Nice switch.
Nice switch.
You don't see that much anymore, do you?
No, you don't. Not score anyway.
Yeah.
My wife had tripped on a curb and split her thumb and was bleeding.
And do first aid?
Yeah, the trainer started working on it. She said, I can't get it to stop bleeding. I said, young lady, I think the problem is you've never worked with someone that's using Plavix, which is a blood thinner.
Did she ask her what weight class Sue was wrestling? Or? Well, now we got a 3-3 match. A whole lot of, well, these two guys are wrestling a lot of on the mat, so to speak. A lot of rolling through, rolling under. Both of them taking some major risks here. I got a feeling we may see somebody get caught here before this is all over.
You know, these guys are, I don't know.
Well, these weights are where some of the best athletes usually are. Seems like 38 to 70 kind of thing.
Well, that's where the bell curve comes into play.
Mm-hmm. This
you were on one side of the bell curve, and I was on the extreme opposite.
There it is.
Whoa! Donovan catches a head and arm.
Yep.
Woo! He's got that hiked in pretty tight.
Yeah. We show this again. This will look sweet. He's tightening it up now.
Mullins is doing
There's
it.
the pin. 15 seconds.
So
Wow. Tough match
Chris
for
Donovan with the.
We're going to show this over here. Okay, you see, tried. So Mullins tried to underhook and grab it and walked right into it.
Yeah, and that's what happened was that Mullins got up on his toes instead of Donovan getting on his toes, and that ended the story for Mr. Mullins. But he is a freshman, and I know we're going to see him plenty of times in the future.
There's his coach, Chris, with Matt McIntyre, former two-time state champion himself. Wonder if they worked on that in practice at all together.
Matt McIntyre Are you kidding?
Matt wasn't much of a thrower. He threw him past. He can get that front headlock and heavy hands. So we're coming to the next weight, Dave, 152.
152. And so
these will be two kids from the Dayton area. First one, we haven't had a Cincinnati finalist. So this will be kind of interesting.
Yeah, we've got to get this match finished over here. It's Mason and.
Well, yeah. That's other ones for third and fourth on the other mat is Fairfield and Elder.
Yeah, we've got two other matches going.
Right.
And well, again, we got a little bit of a pause here. I want to again give credit to the Waycross kids that qualified for this tournament. Quentin Harris of Northwest, Oscar Flowers of Northwest, Gage Starrett of Northwest, Bobby Green of Northwest. Then from Winton Woods was Ivan Pace, and Coach Dean had brought in Darius Levitt, who we saw in the fifth place match, and Ivan Pace, Coleraine, I'm sorry. And Cornell Beecham is coming up at 170 pounds, and Paul McKnight is going to be coming up for third place match at 285 pounds a little bit later on. But our whole operation is dependent upon two things. Well, three, really. It's dependent upon the kids that participate in the sport first and foremost. But then we depend very heavily on the volunteers. The camera operators, the graphics people, the announcers, everybody working here is a volunteer. And it's one of those things that until you've done it, you don't know how much good you do and how much fun it really is. Although it's hard work, at least for the guys that are doing the camera work and pulling cable and stuff. We announcers don't do much. We just kind of show up. Anyway, if you're interested, give Waycross a call at 513-825-2429 or visit us at www.waycross.tv/volunteers.html.
We got a couple
always
good
looking
matches.
for people to help. How are we doing in these
Well,
matches?
we got,
I don't know where we are.
Well, if this match is for 5th and 6th, Shirley versus Houston, Princeton versus Shirley's winning 7-0. No points. The other match is going to go to overtime. That'll be Lips versus Thomas of Fairfield and Lips of Elder. They're 1-1. At this match we're watching right now, Harrison winning 8-0, 10-0. The other match, we're going to try and bring you the other match, which is in overtime. Lips and Fairfield, and here you have Fairfield in the red and Elder in the purple. We have a 1-1 match here, 40 seconds into the first overtime period.
Good. Chucky Lips and Amar Thomas.
Yep. Two good wrestlers, two guys that have wrestled at the state before, and they're going back. So even though they're wrestling for 3rd and 4th, key match here, because if you can finish 3rd, your first match will be a 2nd place finisher who also lost one match at his district. If you finish 4th, you get a champion from the other district who probably hasn't lost any. So the difference between 3rd and 4th can be huge in the draw at the state tournament, especially the first round. Because if you're 2nd or you're 3rd, you've basically lost one match at the district.
It's interesting. These two guys met earlier in this tournament.
Yeah.
They met back in the quarterfinals yesterday evening.
What was
Thomas
the score on that?
Ended up with a 6-4 victory over Lips and moved on to the semifinals today. And met Mullins of Wayne and lost to him 3-2.
Well, we've seen Lips wrestling for a long time when he was even smaller. He's kind of kept growing.
The way they got 18 seconds for somebody to score. I'm sorry. This is second.
No, this
second overtime.
Second overtime.
Yeah. At this point, you just got to wrestle it all the way out. If it's still tied at the end of the next.
Now Lips is going to be down.
period.
He's got to get his escape. And the way they've been wrestling, there haven't been any takedowns. So this is key right here.
Yeah.
Key point. They're both tired. This is that 6th period. This is when you're so tired, you just got to, what can you do? Now he's in good shape.
Lips is on his feet, fighting hands. Thomas follows him around the mat, keeps good
Now
hip presence.
But he got a stall call, warning. This will be interesting. If I'm Lips, I'm coming right back up, going back to the same thing I just got a stall warning for.
Lips of Elder on the bottom. Thomas, Fairfield on top.
Not a better situation there.
You're going to have to move up.
Well, I got to give him some time to move up.
Yeah,
9
I
seconds.
understand.
They're not going to make that call right there anyway.
There's not enough time in the period to pull a point.
Switches side. Fairfield Rest switches side, gets the ankle. Now they're coming up. Rolls through.
Granby.
Oh.
And gets it. Oh, with
2 seconds. 2 seconds left.
2 seconds left on the clock. Granby roll. Not a very good Granby roll, but it was good enough. It's probably the best one he ever rolled.
Well, yeah, he was low. Had him in a good spot. He was low on the hips. He was below the hips. So once he was able to kick out, Thomas had nothing to grab onto.
Okay, so now we move over to the 152-pound match. And this is the one that I think we talked about before. This is the first time we haven't seen the Cincinnati area kid on the mat. We have from Wayne,
Jordan Hardrick.
And from Butler,
Justin Love.
Justin Love.
Yeah, 30. He's a sophomore. Hardrick's a senior. We've seen a Butler wrestler before in the purple, and we saw the Wayne wrestler in the match before in the red. So probably both learned from their work. It always helps to have a good workout partner in the room. It always seems we see that. You know, if they see one, you see two guys.
It's interesting in the preseason evaluation of the weights. Neither one of these guys was picked to win it, which isn't necessarily that big of a deal, but most of the prognostication that's used, it was pretty darn close.
Well, Love's coming as a sophomore. He might not have wrestled varsity as a freshman. Oh. That noise you heard and loud was a little slam.
I didn't see what.
Yeah, he picked him up, had a single leg picked up and brought him around to his back, took him down. Here we go.
You get up there, when you go from this point on up, the contests become a lot, well, I don't know. The way these guys are coming these days, at 106 pounds, it's pretty heavy wrestling out there.
All right, 17 seconds left here in the first period. They had to adjust the clock.
Hardrick with the 2-point advantage.
Trying to switch. Hardrick brings that high shoulder into under the armpit. Would stop that.
Yeah, Justin Love was identified as a potential, but it wasn't really moved anywhere on the. It didn't really move the.
Well, he
the
was
seismic orders. I got to go back and look at his record getting here.
37-5.
Oh, I see. He had a 6-2 victory over Drew Wykers of Centerville to get here to the finals, and that actually was that. Most people picked that going the other way, but that's what happens when you come to the tournament.
Yeah, Wykers is wrestling the elder kid for third and fourth.
That's right. Two-1. Hardrick with Wayne in control. Well, Butler is from. Love is part of the Butler contingent, and they were. I don't know where they are. I got to look that up. They were sitting in pretty good position in the team standing. I'm looking it up. Yeah, at this point,
a lot of scrambling going on there. 4-1, Hardrick.
I think I'm not sure what this is up through.
So 4:37 seconds, second period.
I don't know whether this was the beginning of this round or not, but Lasalle was out in front, 198. The Elders 146.
Yeah, well, they've expanded
Butler
on that.
120. And Mason at 118. Then you drop down to Harrison, Fairfield, Western Brown that moved up from Division II.
Yeah, they've got a good program, Dave.
And then Moeller, Wayne, Northmont, Springboro, Winton Woods, tied with Springboro, Miamisburg, Princeton, Beaver Creek, Centerville, Little Miami, St. X, and Sydney is the low man on the totem pole at this point. Sydney and Western Hills.
St. X has one wrestler still in the finals, Jack Hyab.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they post this, whether I'm going to keep this up here to see what they.
Oh, good movement.
Well, that was really nice.
Hardrick. Just a little quicker than Love.
Turned that corner.
As a senior, yeah.
Yep.
A little faster, got a little better quick twitch. This seems to. Again, Love's only a sophomore. Minute and 35, 37. He's got his head down to the mat. Hardrick putting all his weight on it.
Hardrick's burying him in the mat.
Minute and 20.
I'm going to see what happens here.
Well, he got poked in the eye.
Yeah, well, we got it on replay.
1 point.
Oh.
Yeah, with his thumb. Got his thumb right in the eye. Yeah, the off official saw it right away.
Butler coach wants to know, are you sure?
Well, he did. You can see. He put his thumb right in his eye. Not necessarily on purpose. Watch his thumb. See it come up.
Pretty good evidence right there.
Here we go. We're back to live action. Middle mat. 5-1 with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go.
I think these guys are in the same league, so I'm pretty sure that they will have met before. I'm sure they probably have met in the Greater Miami Valley coaches.
Well, they came out of different sectionals.
Well, that's the Centerville sectional. That doesn't mean anything.
They came out of 2 different ones, a C2
right,
and C1.
C1 and C2.
So they didn't wrestle in sectionals.
They didn't wrestle in sectionals. Yeah. I'm thinking they wrestled in their league, because I think they're in the same league. Although I don't know that for sure.
Well, Love's been in this position before. He gets underneath, and Hardrick gets over the top, and is just a little too strong for.
Remember a guy named Billy Martin?
College ranks, yeah.
Granby.
King of the Granbys.
Right. He had a move that Love ought to learn, because he calls it the All-American position. Head down on the mat, stretched out, reaching around a guy's leg. He called it the All-American spiral. And,
is that from Granby, Virginia, right?
Yeah, that's right. And it was a pretty cool thing, but you had to spend an awful lot of time to learn it, because you ended up in this position in practice a lot, and to learn it, you had to do it.
Hard to describe.
Yeah.
All right, there's Wayne's first champion of the night. And let's get back to some Cincinnati guys. I hate to say it, but not to hate to say it. We're actually going to have a rematch of a league championship here.
Now wrestling on mat 5, fifth place at 160 pounds, Amabata Wupi from Mason versus Brandon Metz from Little Miami. On mat 3 for third place at 160 pounds, Joseph Bradbury.
And this we're going to have Trey Sizemore from Lasalle, a junior, 38-7. His opponent, Austin Murphy from Elder, 32-2. And talk about earlier in the season having a match. Austin Murphy pinned David Carr, #1 ranked wrestler in the country.
Did he really?
Earlier this year, yeah. Carr's only loss of the year. kind of an upset.
He was a state qualifier last year, 6th in the state in 2019, and Sizemore was also a state qualifier.
Mm-hmm. They're both in the same league, different sectionals, but they'll probably get another opportunity, maybe get another opportunity to wrestle themselves. I don't know. 160th state's pretty tough this year. Like I said, David Carr going to Iowa State, one of the #1 recruits in the country. A lot of guys are running away from him. Both these wrestlers, I know they've wrestled each other more than just this year too. So they've been around. Two West Side kids, yeah. High school West Side of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Won't be any surprises here.
Troy Sizemore.
Murphy on top 2-1.
Troy Sizemore from LaSalle is a junior, and he got here by way of a win, an 8-4 victory in the first round, a pin in the second, and a 6-4 sudden victory win over Joe Bradbury from Lakota West in the semifinals. Murphy came through with a pin in the first round, a 6-3 win, and a major 11-2 in the semifinals.
I think Murphy's got a little reach on Sizemore here, a little longer and lankier.
Yeah, that long lengthiness, that is a whip strength that you're dealing with. He uses that leverage to his advantage.
And Murphy, I think he's a 4-year starter too. He's been around.
It seems like he's been there for 6 years, but I would never accuse Elder of doing anything like that. But this kid's been.
Well, he loves that.
We've been calling his name a long time. I know that.
Yeah. Got that 4-2. He's hit that little high crotch going into the single with it, you know.
I think that you can measure his career in school with the coach's career. I think he came in with Jason
Roush
in his first year at Elder, I think.
Well, Jason's done a nice job over at Elder, maintaining that program, taking over from Dick McCoy. And is Coach McCoy up here this weekend? Haven't seen him.
He was going to be up. I talked to him last week. I think he said something about getting grandparent duty this weekend. I don't know. You know about that.
I know. That's suddenly a different set of priorities in Peru.
Yeah, flying all over the country.
I made it.
Folks, you got to know that Greg made a great sacrifice. Flew to California for his daughter's, what was that, her first?
First, granddaughter.
And we have pictures of Greg and the charming baby. And you can't tell who's having more fun.
Oh, nice takedown.
That was a great trip.
Yes. Yeah, they're fun. And I had to take the red eye back to be here with you guys.
Just think how fortunate we are. My goodness.
I got you covered, Tim Cunningham. Don't you worry. I'll make it.
Yeah, Tim just was having to pack things to move. Just because he's building a new house, he probably made that. He probably was getting payment from Waycross.
You know, when you buy a new house, you kind of know you got to pack up ahead of time. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, is it? So.
I don't know. He said he wouldn't trust us alone at the state tournament. I know
He'll
that.
be there, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully 16 seconds here in the second period. It's Murphy leads Sizemore 6-3. Coach Scott Robbins cautioning Murphy about his approach for the start. Murphy's up high, but he's got that cradle in.
Yeah, he's
He'll
got
just
good
stay
balance
there.
in there, too.
Oh, he's got that length. He gets that leg in and that far
Yep.
cradle, and he doesn't have to do anything when you're up 6-3.
Has that, his back leg, his trail leg is out there balancing on the mat edge. It's pretty hard to beat a guy that gets in there and puts as much pressure on as he's doing. And these are 160 pounders. These are not little guys. These are we're getting into the full-blown version of high school guys.
Using that little crab ride, trying to sit there. Murphy's trying to elevate the ankle. Both kind of fighting a hard battle, and Murphy gets out. Hasn't given the escape yet, but I think he's going to momentarily. So there it is. Once he broke that lock. Minute and 29, 7-3. Ooh, Murphy almost had another takedown. Sizemore stepped through it.
Well, getting here was kind of an interesting experience for Trey Sizemore. He beat a junior from Butler the first match, 8-4. They came back with a pin in the
Murphy's
semifinals, and
got that one. That was just good leverage and strength there.
And then a sudden victory, 6-4 win to get here into the finals. Murphy from Elder pulled off one of the major wins of the tournament, actually, because he beat in the semifinals Nevin Snodgrass of Fairmont, who was ranked at one point and predicted that he would be the runner-up in the state at 160 pounds.
Yeah,
and Murphy ripped him 11-2.
I don't know who picked that, but that's
I don't know.
That's pretty bogus.
I think that was
that might have been early, but
that was last week. I think there was a mistake made in that one.
Sure. A nice little change of level for Murphy. Gets down, gets on the leg, 3 seconds, just going to hold there for 4 seconds, 1 second, game over. Quite honestly, that's a good setup, especially for Murphy now. I don't know how the brackets are going to break, but this way he can hopefully stay away from Carr till the finals to have a rematch of their match, because he would want to, although he's pretty gimpy here. I don't know what he did. Hopefully it's just a little ding, recover.
Well, we're moving on now. Now we're getting serious. Now we've got somebody on the mat that we are well familiar with, because he's one of the Waycross kids, and this is one of the real enjoyable things we have to do on the mat. From Winton Woods is senior Cornell Beecham, who won the Lebanon sectional. His opponent, who won the Hamilton section, is Eric Vermillion from Mason. Cornell Beecham is the real McCoy. He is so strong, and he is extremely quick.
He's ranked third.
Yeah.
He wrestled at Fargo this year. Just so strong and so quick.
He was third in the state last year.
Right. Ranked second this year, right?
No, he, what?
It's not,
well, who knows?
well, Sunland's ranked 2, and somebody else is
Yeah,
ranked 1. So I think he's ranked 3rd.
I think he's ranked 3rd. Yeah, I agree.
So
He is. He is.
he's in on that.
They have Karchia of Olentangy Liberty,
Right.
and
Sonlin from Maslin Perry.
yeah, Schoenlin from Perry,
Right.
ranked ahead of it.
Purdue recruit going there next year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you play a role in assisting the Purdue coaching staff with
Not with
mentioning,
not with,
here's the
not with
guy you ought
Emil.
to look at?
I bring up this quite honestly. I told him about Cornell, but the problem is they already had the guy ranked right above him, so
Could be.
he's already
Oh, this
committed.
Cornell is a really
Yeah,
good kid, too.
he's looked at Cumberland College. He's looked at Kent State. He got another number of other colleges looking at him. He's one of those guys that they're going to see what does he win state? Does he
Yeah.
how does down here his schedule hasn't wrestled the type of competition, although he's got Jason's done a good job of getting him out there, and he wrestled Fargo summer wrestling.
And the kid is he's almost passive out there. If you look around, he doesn't change his demeanor. His facial expression remains constant throughout the match.
Just a day at work. Go take care of business.
Yeah.
Four to 1, 4 to 2 now.
He scores so dang many points.
Now he's got to keep him in bounds. He's got to know where he's at.
He scores points so smoothly. Oh, he didn't get that.
Nope.
Well, Vermillion is a tough kid.
47-2 himself. So, in fact, he's at 49 and counting.
Vermillion beat Sam Weich out of Moeller with a 5-1 score to get here.
Beat him in the first
finals.
Right, Weich is ranked.
Yeah.
Weich is wrestling for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
On the next
Weich
one
was
with Shirley from
projected
Harrison.
to be here in the finals. Weich was projected to be in the finals, but Vermillion had something to do about that.
Weich missed all last year, so with an injury, I guess. So Vermillion in on the leg.
Vermillion in. Well, that's a leg man, when you grab a hold of that leg, you're finding a whole lot of power.
He didn't hold it.
No.
Minute and 15 left here in the second period. Beecham up 4-2.
Was Beecham a linebacker?
I think he played all over, Dave. He was like a strong safety, did kickoffs, punt return, a bunch of stuff. That's what Jason said, wherever they kind of needed him. Yeah. Winton Woods had a pretty good football team,
Yes,
too.
they did.
So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we were being kind of facetious saying they're pretty good.
More than pretty good,
State finals. Look at that quickness. That's remarkable for a man that big.
Well, he likes that little drag with a
little short drag
run through, trying to catch the outside ankle.
He also loves a double.
Yeah, well, he can swing off of that and go right to it if the guy doesn't break.
Right. He's really relaxed on the mat, which is a good sign. That relaxation gives you quickness.
Well, Vermillion's just reacting. Eric finally got in on a shot. Actually, I think Beecham eased up a little bit.
Beecham,
well, time hadn't even run out yet.
Look at that. He just relaxes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Beecham on top. Oh, picking up the three-quarter Nelson. You can't get a leg in that.
Got that tried that a little too quick, I think,
Yeah.
Well, this weight class will have all 4 kids placers be from Cincinnati, with Shirley from Harrison, Weiss from Moeller, Beecham from Winton Woods, and Vermillion from Mason. Clean sweep for the Cincinnati area.
There's the Beecham with the single.
He takes him so high. Yeah. Nice
he
move by
Vermillion. Vermillion does a nice job of countering. That's a great counter by Vermillion.
Well, when you get that high, you got not much else. You got to kind of funk it a little bit. I think he's taking a little casual here.
Well, you get that impression from him. I swear he relaxes. There's the drag you were talking about.
That was the problem. Can't just stand there and let the guy wrestle. But the strength, the athleticism won that. Exactly.
That's the thing
that was all so pure strength.
And quickness.
Yeah.
I mean, he's quick. Hey, look, now he's been close with the guy. So what's he do? He releases him.
Well, he's not going to be able to wrestle like that up at state. They will bump him for stalling
that's probably
immediately.
That's probably the reason that he gets downgraded here a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, just they won't let you do that. And
yeah.
They'll call it quickly, and the other guys at state level, they'll be coming at him.
This match was brought to you by Matt and Dominique Mercurio. Matt and Dominique have been responsible for managing probably more tournaments in Greater Cincinnati than any father-daughter combination. I know more than any father-daughter combination in the city.
Well, let's just show the walk in the park here for our champion there, Cornell Beecham.
Cornell Beecham is this year's 170-pound Division I champion here at
I'm sure he'll learn from this.
Trent Arena at Kettering Fairmont. And we move on to 182 pounds.
Another Lasalle wrestler. Is this Wilson?
Yeah, it's Blake Wilson, senior out of Lasalle, and his opponent from Miamisburg is Sebastian Beecher.
Younger brother, former brother wrestled at Moeller in Indiana. Dad wrestled in Indiana, so it comes from a good wrestling family.
I'm glad you're here. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
flew back just for that, Dave.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm glad. Beecher has run into a buzzsaw right now with Blake Wilson, who is out on a mission, it appears. Picks up a takedown.
Takedown,
gets his hips out.
Sebastian Beechler. He's a pinner.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he pinned the guy who many people felt was going to be in the finals, Charles Sanders of Elder. He pinned him in the semifinals in 1:53.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a long, lanky guy. Can make the throws, make the. Miamisburg's a good program.
Yeah, Blake Wilson in at least one projection is kind of indicated as a pretty good shot for fourth in the thing. And
ooh, just out.
bleachers a little bit further down the list.
Well, when you got a guy that can pin, you can never. You're only 3 to 5 seconds away from losing, no matter what. Wilson has been taking the initiative. He's given up about 5 inches, it looks like, to
the
Beecham.
arm length is significant
Beecham
also.
wins the flip, takes down.
It's funny that we haven't had time to compare the 2 sectionals, but out of the greater Cincinnati area, you have 2 sectionals. One was wrestled at Hamilton, the other was wrestled at Lebanon.
They've certainly dominated this district, and they were expected to. That's the way the years are.
Yeah.
Centerville just happened to be weak this year.
Well, the last couple of years it's been swinging to the south, I think.
Part of that's the youth commitment, different summer programs. What's going on?
I don't know what it is.
I think it's a change in the coaches. I think Cincinnati's had a lot of younger coaches come in the last 5 years, and maybe a little more youth wrestling than the other guys were involved with. Or more involved.
That could be.
I should say. And the former wrestlers themselves, Matt McIntyre, Ryan Root, those guys that we've watched wrestling when they were here, and Jason Rouse and Jason Dean. Chad Dennis. I'm just looking around seeing guys I used to see on the mat, and now they're in the chair. Two to two. This could come down to a takedown at the end. And Wilson's been in on the legs a lot better. He just beat me to it.
Ooh. Boy, that was a foot in the face.
That was a little college kick in the chest.
And he's going to give a little punishment in return. Butt him in the back of the head a couple times. Yeah, I don't think he liked that foot in the face.
I think what do you think? We're going to show this. He's trying to jump. Usually you kicked him right in the chin.
Yeah, he did.
Four to two. Wilson getting to his feet slowly, maintaining his balance.
Good tripod position, good solid position. Betchlin attempts to lift, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
That time it was a little bit of a knuckle sandwich on the return from the foot sandwich, fillet of sole.
Good reshot by Wilson. Good front headlock. 2 points, 7. Blake Wilson, 7 to 2. We have 45 seconds left here in the third period. Blake Wilson leads Sebastian Beechler 7 to 2.
This weight has been brought to you by Dr. Stephen Daly of UC Health. Dr. Daly was a upper weight wrestler also. He has also served as a team physician for Northwest for some time, and in addition to that, of course, at Miami University.
Right.
And today is part of the academic group at UC Health.
20 seconds. 7-3 for Beechler. I don't know if he's going to do here. He's got to do a lot in a little bit of time, which is never a good recipe.
Going to have to get one of those patented takedown pins right here.
Don't think it's going to happen to an experienced wrestler. All right.
I don't think these guys like one another.
Yep.
Dave Jacobson just looked over on that comment. He looked over here with a grin on his face. Dave was one of those nice, quiet, even-tempered guys on the mat. When you opened the door to the gym on a day that there was going to be a meet, he was chewing on the interior bars on the place. The big thing was to keep Dave from ripping doors down.
Well,
and now they put him in charge of a camera over here on the sideline. I don't know. We were talking about this a little bit ago. I said, Dave, what are you going to do if these guys come off the mat at you? He looked at me and grinned, and he said, I just shove them at you.
So a tag team, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Protect himself. All right, 195. Now we got, what did Thompson finish, second or third in state last year?
I'm sorry?
Where did Jake Thompson finish last year at state?
Was
it third or second?
Let's see. Second.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yep, second. And we're talking about Jake Thompson, a senior from Moeller. He's 42 and 0. He's maybe more than that here in a second.
I don't think he wants to stick around much. Dayton Northmont, Moran, Dylan Moran, senior.
Let's see. Thompson had a major decision in his first match, a pin in his second, and a 6-1 semifinal win over Michael Baker of Lasalle in the semis. Moran of Northmont is a senior also. He's 34 and 5. And he had a 57-second pin in the first, a 12-11 match over Goldfuss of Oak Hills, and then a 10-8 sudden victory in order to get here into the finals, beating Coyle of Butler.
We got a tap out here, hurting his shoulder so bad when he turned him.
I didn't see what happened
Thompson
on that.
Well, he had the leg in and a half and was just cranking him. Kind of came up with a little bit of a smile. It's a tough sport.
Yeah. Two back
I don't know if he already had the back.
4-0.
If he had the shoulder injury before or just
if
now.
If he didn't, he could have now.
We're going to show a replay here. Watch, you'll see his shoulder kind of pulls it forward, and then.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah. It's a move made famous by Bo Jordan and the Graham wrestlers.
Yes, I was going to say, if you've watched high school wrestling in Ohio very long, you will have seen that used. Oh heck, if you watch the Big Tens, which are on tonight and tomorrow, so we at least get to see the finals tomorrow. We're missing the.
Well, those of you that got the executive package on the cable.
I don't have it cable.
You must. How are you going to watch it?
I don't have cable.
Well, how are you going to see it?
I get it on DirecTV.
Well,
it's
same
satellite.
thing. I mean, you got
satellite.
Yeah. You got your own private satellite or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you get
I have
see
to.
it.
I have to. Up in the North Country.
Us little peons don't get that.
Up in the North Country.
Yeah.
Well, you want to come over to the house?
I have
watch
to come
tomorrow?
over and watch the finals. Yeah.
Bring something to eat and drink.
He's going to go right back to it. I can see it.
No, really?
You think so? Look, he's coming right at it.
He's going to slip it in there.
And Dylan Moran does not.
Think Moran is covering that up?
You know, I wrestle.
I would. Oh.
You know, this happened. This almost happened. This is like deja vu all over again. I was wrestling a kid from Indiana State who was like NCAA runner-up, and he cranked my shoulder, and I made a noise.
You made a noise.
Stopped. I'm like, and they stopped, and it was like, oh my God, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. He didn't leave my shoulder alone for the next 5 minutes. I think it's still bad because of him. But yeah.
There's
it was
probably
like
a lot
cranking
of.
on this. I knew it. As soon as they stopped it, I go, oh, this is going to be bad.
Yeah, it's interesting as we sit here and watch.
He's done.
He should be.
Yeah, he's not going to win this match.
No, he's not. And no point in incapacitating yourself, although the guys wrestling for 5th had better really wrestle hard.
I think he'll still wrestle next year.
Well, you don't know, though. That's the thing.
I think he wrestled. I remember watching him wrestle last year, Moran. I think he was in the finals last year. Okay, so maybe we're going over to Michael Baker. Is that who's over here for Lasalle?
Well, let's see.
I think that's Baker, isn't it? Yeah, Michael Baker versus Coyle from Butler.
Yep.
And Baker leads that match 5-2. He's a projected placer, 6th or 7th, I think.
Yeah, Coyle lost in the
LaSalle's
semifinals.
juggernauts. And
Coyle,
also a junior.
Coyle lost in the semifinals, and Baker lost in the semifinals.
Yeah, he's only a junior.
Yeah.
He wrestled Thompson.
Yeah, right. That was a 6-1
Yeah. Oh, Thompson's
victory.
Runner-up in the state last year, coming back. I think he's got a real nice shot at winning this.
This is the time you start winding up, too. I mean, you better have your act
confident,
together.
Positive, aggressive, and confident there. 45 seconds left in the second period there. 7-2 now. Baker.
Here we have Jared Ball of Hilliard Darby and Cody Howard of St. Ed, and then Jake Thompson of Moeller and Michael Baker of LaSalle, all in a cluster.
Didn't you say Howard of St. Ed?
Yeah.
Did he get out or not?
I don't know.
They lost a couple of their guys. They lost their 13. St. Ed's did. It may be a little closer. That sectional and district up north was really packed this year with Wadsworth and I think Elyria.
Are we still in that match over there? What match are we on?
We're on over here.
Oh, right over here.
To your right. To your immediate right.
Yeah, Kevin Riley from Tri-Health wasn't going to let Steve Daly get ahead of him, so he jumped on this weight class, and we appreciate his continued service. Both these doctors have done far more than put money into the till. These guys have given untold hours of free service to athletes. Both of them have worked this tournament, the sectional tournaments, the Coaches Classic, with the Glen Sample tournament in the winter, and they both work up at the state tournament.
They both worked on me quite extensively.
Really?
Oh yeah, knees and shoulders.
Well, let's see. Riley put one of my knees back together, and I got to see Doc Daly. I think
I'm part of their retirement account. I'm not sure, but many old wrestlers got plenty of injuries. Oh, he's tipping him. I don't think he tipped. Hold on, he got the 2. Did he get the 2 or the 3? Yeah, I only got 2 on that.
11-3.
Third period. Gonna let him loose. 11-4. Big knee brace on the Centerville wrestler. Or not Centerville. Butler wrestler. He doesn't have it's kind of confusing because he doesn't have there's the purple in there, but not much,
Yeah, just in that little bit of the star.
I saw the coaches.
Some of the lettering.
Yeah. When you see it's, especially at this time of the match, it's 11-3, 30 seconds to go. You know you're going to finish third, or you know you're going to finish fourth. You don't do anything stupid here. It's kind of like we're not changing our placement. Let's get like that.
That gets you.
You're not supposed to do
whole
that.
world of hurt.
Yeah. Or you just, it's over.
Well,
Either
you know,
go
on the
for it,
one
yeah.
hand, you don't want to give it to him, and
You
so
might
you
as
got to
well.
go out and you're
That's
trailing big time. The only way to get him
Yeah.
is to get the big move.
That's right. Either that.
When
You don't want to get hurt, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
Well, you
that's
want
it.
to.
When I meant
if
don't
you're
do
willing-
anything stupid, that's what I meant to
If
be.
you're willing to live by the big move, you can die by it also.
Little Miami versus Brian Hayward from Northmont. On mat 3, for third place at 220 pounds, Joe Cochran from Springfield versus Garrett Bledsoe.
I'm looking for my 220 weight. I don't think I got it.
Okay, we have.
Got to dig our papers out here. I think Dave's got all the important stuff. There it is. There's our 220 weight. This is another Cincinnati. This should be a good one. McLeod versus Sauerwein. And both of these guys projected top 4 in the state.
Wait a minute, what are we doing here?
Huh?
We just had a warning, 1 point
Warning
green.
on green. Warning.
Technical violation.
I think he didn't have his laces taped or something.
Oh, coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Elder's down.
Yeah.
1 to
Elder's
nothing.
down a point and they haven't started. That's uncool.
It was an equipment violation. I
You
know
might. I don't know. That could work 2 ways with you, I think. But anyway, here we have.
that. Sauerwein versus. I don't think McLeod's definitely the favorite here. His minute and 45 to pin, a minute and 12 to pin, and a 19-4 tech decision.
It's
Sauerwein's
Antonio McLeod of Elder. He's a senior. He's 36-4 this year.
ranked 2, I think.
He was 4th. No. He was a state qualifier, but didn't place last year. And at this point in time,
He's ranked 2, isn't he?
that's what I'm trying to find. Yeah.
Well, he's just pushing him. It's going to create some. There's going to be some tension on this one.
Well, you know what's interesting in this is that Joe Cochran, where did he get to? Has he been?
Sauerwein's a good wrestler, but he just doesn't have
yeah.
the strength to wrestle McLeod
Well, Joe Cochran
in this position. Not
came
like
out
that anyway.
and had a pin in the first period, and then ran into Cameron Sauerwein from Harrison in the quarterfinals. Sauerwein beat him 7-1.
Yeah.
And then Sauerwein pinned in the semis to get here.
He pinned the Northmont guy.
Yeah. And then
He's a good wrestler. We saw him at the.
McLeod has a pin in 145, 112, and a technical fall 19-4.
He is just so strong. He's just more powerful than Sauerwein. And,
Yeah.
And you just can't tie up with him. 6-3. Actually, I think official Paul Bronca got McLeod a little upset with the technical violation. I'm not sure Sauerwein's too happy with him right now. So don't need to give him any motivation there.
No.
6-3, end of the first period. Here you see it, Sauerwein getting off his back there, struggling. He just got bear hugged there. Well, there's some good wrestling. Lasalle's been really dominant here this tournament. They're going to be dominant next year too, and the year after.
Yeah, there's no question.
They got some really good. I'm watching. I'd say next
You got
year.
a caution on Sauerwein.
They could be the #1 team in the state next year. If things break right for them. they get a couple more kids in to fill some empty weights.
Yeah, it seems strange to be talking about that kind of a thing. And here's a team that doesn't fill out all weight classes this year.
Short 2 weights. Oh, nice.
Boy, you talk about strength. Yeah. Holy mackerel. He was in on that takedown and was completely out of position. But his upper body was so strong.
Yeah.
He could overcome Sauerwein's
high
whole
crotch.
body.
Yeah, get that high crotch, and he didn't even have good position.
He didn't. It was in terrible position.
8-4, minute and 20 seconds left here. And gonna let him go. He's extremely confident right now. Feels like he can do whatever he wants. He's got Sauerwein on his heels. Sauerwein needs to have a little counterattack.
He's moving the inside. I'm thinking he may be looking at a high crotch, but he didn't throw it. Sauerwein.
They're over by Dave a little bit, so I could get that camera, get our cameraman. He said he said bring it on, so here they come. There's Dave. You can see his feet there. Moved away from him.
They didn't want to mess with him.
They don't want to mess with that.
They don't want to mess with him.
Here we go. 8-5, 30 seconds to go. Well, Sauerwein has slowed the, just as I say that, slowed the charge, but that was hold on. That was hold on for dear life. And he's got McLeod's arm trapped. 15 seconds.
There's the takedown.
Just not strong enough in this situation. 10-5 with 10 seconds to go in the second period. I don't think he's going to be able to tip him.
No, he's running out of time.
Well, he had a real good position. If he could have dragged the neck in, pulled him, instead of pushing, pulled, I think he had a shot at tipping that shoulder. See Coach Chad Dennis in the background. Kind of hard to give much advice in this situation, you know.
Yeah, you kind of hope the clock runs fast. When you're in this kind of a situation in wrestling, you hope the guy that's running the clock is smart enough to start jumping time.
Well, you know, he's here for a reason.
Oh, he got here. He deserves to be here.
And he wants to win. So
hey,
I don't think no quitting these kids.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah. He beat a really tough kid, Cochran from Springfield, and Cochran was fourth in the state last year.
And like you said,
and
only takes 5 seconds.
Sauerwein pinned him. No, he beat him. I'm sorry, he beat him 7-1, but he dominated him.
Well, there's still a minute and 25 seconds to go. McLeod's gotten a stall warning for just kind of laying there. Standing up. Sauerwein takes him to the mat. They're on the edge here. So Jason Rouse saying, come on, get up.
Rouse is saying, stand up, stand up, stand up. That's the reason you're doing this.
You don't want to be on the mat there. That's true.
This is what you use this kind of a situation for. You start working on something that you aren't real good at because you got it coming up next week where you got to be able to do it.
Still a minute and 12 left.
Well, he's got to learn to get a hold of hands coming up. That's the big drawback here. He's just not getting hand control as he stands up.
All right, well, let's see what he does this time. Minute and 6. Sauerwein's got to do something here. Reaches. The 50 seconds to go.
Jeff Perkoff Old Coaches Association came through to sponsor this weight class. It's made up of a bunch of retired coaches and some guys who wrestled around like Greg a long time ago.
Yeah.
And get together for lunch once a month. And you talk about telling stories.
You know, the last guy's the biggest liar, so you know that's the truth.
Jeez. But Jeff Burkhoff was a really well-known and respected official who died a number of years ago, and the guys that got together, they just called themselves the get-together guys and decided to put Jeff's name on the organization.
Right. Yeah, most of us started out pumping unleaded or leaded. We didn't know what unleaded gas was. There was only one gas.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, this is the big boys. This is it.
And so Antonio McLeod comes up with a winner. And we're moving on to 285, and we got another Winton Woods wrestler in here for 5th place. Actually, he's on the 3rd place. He's on the 3rd place
Wrestling
match.
3rd and 4th, yeah.
Wrestling for 3rd. He's going to the state tournament. It just depends on where he's going to fall on the bracket. And
as
that's
Coach Dean said, first-year wrestler or varsity wrestler, wrestled behind Cage for 3 years, who's at Ohio State playing football.
And Padilla is a known quantity, one of the favorites to win this thing, but was taken out of the whole thing by Moore-Nash of Elder, who's out here. I'm sorry. Yes, that's
he's
right.
wrestling Jack Hyab from St. X.
Who's a really small heavyweight. Reminds me of looking at seeing it.
Oh, boy, that was LaSalle pinned for 5th in 30. That was quick. So Hyab, we're familiar with his older brother Joe, state champion, undefeated for St. X at 50-0. 3 goes as senior at junior at Penn this year.
Hyab jumped a bunch of weights to get here too, because he was much lighter last year. I can't remember.
He was 220 last year.
Was he I thought he was 195.
Oh no, 220.
220.
Yeah. He's about 250 now. He's going to go to Northwestern. Wrestle for Northwestern, yeah.
Yeah, that's
with,
good.
With Mike McMullen, the assistant, old national champion heavyweight at Northwestern, is one of the assistant coaches there, so he'll get some definite training there, get some opportunities. 3rd brother to wrestle for St. X. Middle brother Ben wrestled at Kent State.
Yeah, so Tom, can't say his last name.
Wynn
was saying before this round, I was talking to him, he was saying that this is the last of the Hyabs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, build whole programs around them. Well,
see their Father Ray up there filming.
Paul McKnight's headgear got dislocated out here. He's in a 0-1 match. Trails Padilla from Wayne here in the 2nd period, 1-0.
Well, 6 seconds, 5 seconds to go. That'll be the end of the 1st period. Well, when you got 2 big brothers that wrestle, they probably beat up on you a little bit, even though he's bigger than all of them. Yeah. Now it's his turn to beat up on them, huh?
Yeah, probably Mom beat up on all of them after about the 3rd coffee table got destroyed in the living room.
Well, yeah, Joe was an NCAA qualifier last year at Penn. Should qualify again this year. I think he's was ranked in the top 20 for a while, off and on, fighting some injuries.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Moore-Nash is not as quick as Hyab.
No.
He's twice been in good position and couldn't finish it because Hyab disappeared on him and was in behind.
Well, and probably the rest, I'm sure they wrestled at the GCL. They wrestled probably several other times this year.
Yeah, they know one another.
Yeah. Yeah, Doc Riley's staying with the big men here, sponsoring this weight class also for us.
We give people the chance to pick their weights if they get in early enough. And Dr. Riley, I think, called the second day that the offers were there, and it said, "I want the 285." So. There's a family of athletes at Xavier. Good heavens!
Is his brother the new president?
Yes, he is. That's right. I forgot that. Yeah. He's the only one that isn't a doctor, I think. And he may be a doctor.
Oh, Nash in there. Just not quick enough. Boy, he had it there. Hobb was able to come back up faster.
McKnight continues to be in this 1-0 deficit.
It's third period. He's got to get out. Talking about Knight on the right in the white uniform for Winton Woods. Can't let that guy lay on you like that. Got to come to your feet. .25 seconds left here in the second period. Hobb, Nash Moore. Two to two here. Let's get a little excitement going here. What do you think, Dave?
Sometimes these
two matches
these
here.
big guys are a real barn burner, and this foursome isn't exactly
5 points in a total of 5 periods. Total. Down.
McKnight's letting Padilla just dominate him, and
he's got 25 seconds to get away.
All he needs is a reversal. That's all he needs, just 2 points.
Well, get the escape at least.
Yeah, tie it up, go OT.
Okay, Moore down on the ankle. Fighting for hand control, Hobb versus Moore. He got away.
He got warned for backing off. Well,
he got Hobb backed up and get a point to Moore. So.
Hives can't wrestle with a head under like that. Well, Paul McKnight was not able to pull out this third place victory, so he's going to Columbus, and that's a great accomplishment, especially for a guy that made his big break into the lineup just this year.
Senior year, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, Moore's got the bear hug in there. He's got Hobb in a bad position, really. Hobb's got shoulder low, but now what's Moore Nash gonna do with this? He's actually pushing him out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that's a backup. I'm not so sure that's. Yeah, okay, we got 2 warnings. Okay, I'll take that. That's the second, however, on Hyam.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a point?
Yeah, for both wrestlers. It's the second warning. And out of bounds, no points. 23 seconds left. They both look a little tired, but they don't look as exhausted as most of the heavyweight finals we see.
Right.
So we'll see what we're going to do here with 20 seconds. I think this might go OT, Dave.
Well, it won't be the first or the last time we've seen the heavyweights go OT.
6 seconds. Well, I think the officials put himself in a little jam here with all the stalling calls, to be honest with you. Now, what's he going to do? So if he calls another stalling on both of them, Nash wins. So you don't want this to be decided by a stalling call.
No, that would be crazy.
I don't know why he flipped why he even flipped the
disc?
Yeah, because he's going to call it. Illegal hold.
Illegal hold. 1 point.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
He didn't lock hands he didn't lock hands, did he? We'll see it. We'll look for, does he touch hands?
Well,
he does.
Yep.
And the head's under.
And he's looking right at it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is Hayev's head under?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hayev's head is under.
I told you the official would. That's unfortunate. Oh, now he's in trouble.
Oh, now he
shouldn't have said that. Well, what are you going to do? He did lock hands.
Yeah, he did. That was an illegal hold. There's no two ways around that.
And that's it for the night. Well, the fireworks isn't what we were looking for, but we did have some. So,
and
Dave?
again, this is a replay provided to you by SWOCA. And again, we want to thank all of the people who have participated in making this event available to you, from Waycross, our leaders, our producer, our director, our cable puller, our camera setter-upper, Tony Suarez. Oh, he drives the truck too. Lamar Ruhlhoff on a camera. Emma Wilms on a camera. Jake Jacobson sits down here trying to push big guys into hitting us. Tom Bruckman, thank goodness, was on the other side of the mat. Hugh Staples is our graphics guy. And Greg Klein is the guy who's been providing you with a insightful view of what's going on. But this is Waycross Community Media. If you like what you see and you'd like to get involved, give Waycross a call at 825-2429 or contact through waycross.tv. Thanks a lot. We'll be seeing you next from the Schottenstein Center in Columbus. So long. See you next time.